Yo, guys. So, one thing I wanted to speak on a little bit for today's video is the most important thing you need to actually make it in life. The most important thing you need to embrace to actually succeed and achieve anything that you want. And if you can train your mind to do this, there's nothing you can't do. And it's basically boredom. Boredom is the most important ingredient to actually make it in your life. And I'll explain why. Because boredom naturally produces motivation. It naturally creates an urge to want to do something, to want to work, to want to achieve things. Okay? But here's the thing. Most of us, when we're bored, we know that we have access to things like social media, like porn, like junk food, like going out, like wasting time and doing a bunch of bullshit. The key is to stay bored whenever you get the urge to do those things, because those things will not improve your life. In fact, they will make your life worse. So you need to stay in that boredom. So the only thing you have that is going to be mildly entertaining, that is better than doing nothing at all, is work, is being productive. Maybe you're reading the Bible, maybe you're working on your business, maybe you're going to the gym. Like, that is going to be the most fun thing for you to do once you exclude everything else. Once you remove all the cheap dopamine sources and you embrace the boredom, and the only way you have to entertain yourself is to work and productive things, that's going to be your go-to. And you're going to program your mind into seeing the work as the default thing to do. Because right now, your default thing is more than likely cheap dopamine. Whenever you're bored, what do? You pick up your phone and you start scrolling. That's probably why you're watching this video. Because if this wasn't your default state, you wouldn't be spending any time watching videos on YouTube. Maybe you're an exception, but most of you watching this video, that's probably your default state. You're bored, so you start scrolling or watching videos to entertain yourself. That is your default state. What if you remove that default state and turned work into your default state? So whenever you were bored, you did work instead. You were productive instead. And that's still going to be super boring. It's not going to entertain you. But with time, your brain will start seeing that thing as entertainment, as the most fun thing to do in the moment, because you'll understand that there's nothing else to do. I'm not going to scroll my phone. I'm not going to watch porn. So I might as well work. Now, here's the best way to actually do this. The most practical advice that I can give you. First of all, on your phone, what I recommend that you do, remove all the apps that waste your time and steal your energy. Personally, I don't have Twitter, I don't have IG, I don't even have YouTube on my phone, because YouTube, you can access YouTube Shorts, and that's a problem. So if I have YouTube on my phone, I'm gonna scroll. So I've removed YouTube, IG, Twitter, even LinkedIn. LinkedIn doesn't really give me dopamine like that. I don't like LinkedIn. I find it boring. I just use it for work. But I still find myself scrolling, looking at my metrics and stuff like that. So I removed all of it. So on the phone, personally, I needed to remove all the apps. I couldn't even use an app blocker, because every time I had something like Opal on my phone or another app blocker, I always found a way around it. I ended my Opal session and I just, stopped doing it. And then I kept scrolling. And that it just made it worse. So for the phone, delete your apps. For the computer, this is something I did yesterday actually. And the reason I'm talking about this is I always believe in talking to your younger self. Like trying to teach your younger self as if you're speaking to the past version of you and teaching him or her a lesson. So I'm still struggling with this myself. Like, I still find ways to scroll on my phone and waste time and watch videos. And this is something that I battle every day. I'm trying to reprogram my mind into finding work to be fun. So that's why I'm making this video. So yesterday, that was the first time I ever downloaded Opal on my computer. So on the phone, I don't have the apps, but on the computer, you don't really access IG or YouTube using the app. You use the domain, the website, right? So I always told myself, well, I don't have IG on my phone, so I'm not going to scroll. But what I did instead, I started scrolling on my computer. And then I just realized this is just as bad. Well, it's not as bad because when you're on your phone, you can scroll whenever. On your computer, it's not as convenient, but it was still bad. I was still scrolling. So what I did was I just downloaded Opal. I just downloaded Opal on my computer and I was like, fuck it. You know? That's what I did. I think it has helped significantly. I haven't opened IG or Twitter in almost 2 days now. So no, not 2 days, over a day. So it's helpful. So now the only fun thing I have to do is work. That is my default state. So again, you gotta embrace the boredom because you're going to be extremely bored cutting out cheap dopamine. Cheap dopamine is so entertaining. It makes you feel so good in the moment. However, it's a trap, it's enslavement. It's going to ruin your life slowly but surely. You're going to give into it more and more and more, and it's going to make you not want to do the work. Because if you're getting dopamine from an easy source and you can get more of it, why on earth would you want to work hard? Why on earth would you want to earn your rewards when you know it's going to be harder and you're not going to get as much dopamine, right? So that's why people don't achieve things, and that's why people get stuck in this loop of constant stimulation, constant stimuli from cheap dopamine, from social media, from porn, YouTube, binge watching videos, movies, whatever it may be. You know, because the reward is easy and it's instant. It's instant. You can get it immediately. So you need to find ways to put up a wall between you and the cheap dopamine sources. So you can't access them easily. And you need to embrace that boredom. Whenever you sit there and you feel so bored, like you're craving the cheap dopamine, embrace it. Be like, you know what? I'm so fucking bored right now, but I'm going to embrace this. I'm going to embrace this moment. I'm just going to be in this and I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to enjoy it. And then the next fun thing to do for you is going to be work. That's going to be your default entertainment. So that's how you go about achieving anything that you want in life. You basically embrace the boredom. You turn work into your default entertainment state. So that's the only fun thing for you to do. And that's it. And you train your mind to operate like this by embracing the boredom, making work your default fun state, and just watch yourself effortlessly see results in life. Effortlessly achieve things and ascend and make more and more money and achieve more and more things. It's so easy once you remove the thing that makes you not want to do the work and makes you see the work as a burden, because you get the instant gratification. You get the instant reward. Okay? So try it out. Do this for yourselves. Delete the apps. Install Opal on your computer. And you're probably going to see a significant difference. In the beginning, it's going to be hard. You're going to struggle a lot. But in the future, what you're going to do is, you're going to thank me. You're absolutely going to thank me. And most importantly, you're going to thank yourselves. That's what matters the most. So try this out. I hope it helps. And as always, I'll see you next time. So cheers.